just like a small golden nugget, like from your background that you can understand like how a peptide will work in your head, what in your brain, what would you think that they were doing? Like, can you give us like in a nutshell, like what actually this kind of drug will activate or not activate, or how this works in your brain? Like, it's like an LSD. What kind of thing are you feeling? We can.
Yeah, so you've got neuropeptides in your brain that act as communicators. And these communicators influence things like your growth, your sexuality. They are involved in this complex chemical dance that the cult has tapped into. The cult is itself performing the actions of these neuropeptides on its own people. We can now regulate growth. We can regulate puberty. I can take your puberty and put it into a constant state of non regression. What the hell is that? That's where you will constantly be in a state of development and never come out of it. You will never reach development. Do you understand me? How can we do that? There are a gazillion substances, including all of these toxins that we now know influence hormones and hormone receptors.
Like,
They are
can we
influencing
identify
the
them?
human brain.
Sorry. Can we identify it like that? Like
Of
what
course
kind
we
of?
can.
Hmm?
Of course we can. Viper venom activates the same pathways that prolactin does. So the viper venom, when given to a female, can induce the production of milk. And they're already noticing this. They're already talking about different types of milk being produced by the venom, right? Depending on the development of the person, right? So, this science that they're doing is just as advanced as what I was doing at the University of Arizona when I was taking brain slices of sheep to identify the anti-gonadotropic peptide. It's decapeptide. One of these peptides that's active in the brain. We're trying to identify what it does. It seems to inhibit pubertal onset. So if we can take that chemical, the idea was in the lab, if we can take that chemical and introduce it to children who are prematurely entering puberty, we can delay that puberty. In other words, I've spent time in a lab where all we were doing was figuring out the architecture of when to start puberty. And if you have the correct peptides, you can do that. It's not a difficulty. It is just nature. You are the base. The cult will show you you are just the base. You must be potentiated. And you're only going to get there through her. Okay? So you do what you want with whatever your belief or your faith is. You're never going to find the salvation of the gospel if you don't have her, the Savior. Right? So Tela, she's the Savior. Yeah. Oh, God.